Hello YouTube. This is BalorMage again with our final update on our CI Ephemeral Edge Reeve Trickster, which is a lot of words. Ultimately, we got this build in a pretty good place. It was able to do all of my tier 16s. We did a few juiced maps for tier 16s. We did mostly Alk and Go, since that's some of the most profitable content we can do right now. It managed to do it at a reasonable speed, but not an incredibly high speed. So there's a few things going on with this build that we're going to go through. The first one, that's the most important, or perhaps the second most important, I'm actually not sure. There's two really important defensive layers. One of them is Maven's belt, called Graven's Secret. Now, we're going to jump into game to show off these things real quick. And here we are. So, Graven's Secrets turns all of our power charges into absorption charges, and we're getting 6 absorption charges. The defensive layer of this belt is insane, and it doesn't take that much investment, and it is very, very cheap. I think this is overlooked on a lot of builds, especially non-crypt builds. If we've got more damage over time builds, things like that have energy shield, basically these absorption charges per charge give you 12% of elemental damage taken recouped as energy shield. So kind of insane, but you do lose your power charges. So we got a power charge there, and we got a power charge here, and then we have the one off the belt, gives us 6. We end up with like 74% recoup. Recovery is absolutely insane. The other one, which I guess is tying for first place, is this node from Trickster, which is another just, I need to see this used more. This is insane. So between this node, which gives us a pretty decent amount of attack and cast speed, generic damage leech, so it applies to everything, it gives you the most important part. Energy shield leech is not removed when energy shield is full, so that's essentially Slayer Overleech except for energy shield, and it's kind of insane because you can get some pretty good energy shield values, and then also take Ghost Reaver, which doubles it, so now I can leech 20% instead of 10%. And then I actually took this, even though I'm an attack build and I don't benefit from this spell damage leech. I also don't need this node, but this node just on its own, 40% increased total maximum total energy shield recovery per second from leech, affects my attacks as well as the mastery. So we got 70% increased here on our maximum total recovery, which gives us this insane overleech. Anytime I get hit by anything, I am just instantly leeching at full capacity, somewhere around 3,400 energy shield per second is just in leech effect all the time. And that is defensively just an amazing mechanic. So those are the two mechanics that I want to like mainly focus on right now, which is those defenses are insane. Now, should you play the build? I don't think so. I think offensively, for the level of investment that I put into this build, which was somewhere between 25 and 30 divines, it did not work. And the main reason that I didn't think that it gave me the returns that I wanted, I think, is just based on the Ephemeral Edge having a 1.3 attacks per second base. It was so incredibly hard to scale enough attack speed. I did everything I could do, everything I could think of to get as much attack speed as possible. I got a perfectly divined attack speed Watcher's Eye with some damage from Wrath. I got a attack speed implicit on my gloves. I got attack speed here, attack speed here, attack speed here. I even re-rolled a cluster so that it would give me int and energy shield and some attack speed. And just all in all, I still ended up with an attack time of 0.27. It's not great. And so this is how fast we can get around. And while the damage was okay, we're looking at a little over half what I would consider the attack speed that I actually would want for this to play good. So this is our path of building. This is the character as it currently is. We got up to 2.7 million DPS. We are consistently getting a 40% shock, and I have got it set to Guardian and Pinnacle bosses. So this is the actual DPS. The Val Reef does quite a bit more. We do have a 6 million DPS there, which is great. But our attack rate being only 6, honestly, for that to feel good, you need to breach 10, be over 10. For when it's over 10, that would feel great, but I just don't see a way to get the ephemeral edge up there. So something worth noting, I never managed to play with this because I would have to change the build quite a bit. But if I just take a level 1 energy blade, you'll see we've got a 0.27 attack speed. And now I have a 0.2 attack speed, which is quite a bit better. That's like 25% better just off the bat. Your energy blade weapon has a 1.7 attack speed rate, which makes us significantly quicker. Now, I would have to build this build differently to do an energy blade thing. 4k total energy shield when I don't have the armor or defenses appropriate for that is just not good enough. So this build is not currently equipped for that. But anything else, there's a bunch of other things that would work. I think the big takeaways from this is the defensive layers are insanely good. Now, when we look here, we do see our effective hit pools not being insanely high. The real key here is recovery, right? With 74% elemental damage recouped and 3,200 odd energy shield leached per second. If you don't one-shot me, you cannot kill me. This will not die if it doesn't get one shot. It does get one shot occasionally. Not often. 2 or 3 times a day in like an 8-hour stream of full tier 16 I can go just blasting maps all day. A few times a day, we do get one shot. Usually by some arch nemesis shenanigans. I'm not entirely positive that you can get around that these days. I just assume every character is going to get one shot by arch nemesis at some point. Otherwise, super pleasant learning experience. Absolutely loved it. I do want to try out the other layer of Trickster defenses on a different build. We'll be doing that a little bit later. Next build up is going to be Summon Raging Spirits. I want to see how minion builds do. I want to play them for myself. I want to see if I can keep an Animate Guardian alive forever. So that's going to be my next project. And we'll be moving on to that pretty much immediately. This character is done. But very fun to play. Hope everybody learned something. And I will see everybody later.